Hi, here's a routine to help mobilise and lengthen the inner thighs, so the adductors. So first of all, we're going to sit here in the butterfly with the soles of the feet together. We just want to make sure that the ankles aren't collapsing down, because if you see from this angle here, that means that the foot is being pushed into like an unaligned position, so then it's going to send messages all the way up to the body to reinforce misalignment. So we're going to make sure the ankles stay solid, soles of feet pressed together, place the forearms onto the inner thighs, draw the belly in and back, and then you're tucking the tailbone under here. I'm just going to put your weight down onto your forearms, so if that feels far away from you, you can always pop something there in between, and so it doesn't feel like you're pushing down too far. And then you're going to push up as if you're trying to draw the legs together, but resist it with the weight of your body. So I'm just going to do that to roughly 20% effort, so it's not too aggressive. You just want to feel the engagement and in the inner thigh. I'm just going to hold that for roughly a count of 20. Once you've done that, just going to relax the legs a little bit. Then take hold of one foot and the lower limb, and then you're just going to rock the leg side to side. So this is going to target more the outer part of the hip a little, but it's also going to help loosen off the inside edge of the pelvis. So you don't have to do too many of those. Might get a little rotation through the torso at the same time, but just think control. Swap over, so you can just hold the foot with your hand and hook the other hand around the lower limb, or you can place the sole of the foot into the bicep for a little bit more intensity. And then place the feet together again, and then we're just going to do another round of that. So push the legs up as if you're trying to bring them together, but resist it with the weight of your body. Feel the inner thighs activate. Keep breathing gently and calmly. And don't forget to keep pushing as well, because sometimes we can just relax into it and just push the legs down, so push up. Okay, gently release. This time just shake the legs out. Take one leg out to the side, tuck the sole of the foot of the other foot, sole of the foot into the inner thigh. And then here, if we lean more to this side, we're going to get the length in the hamstring. So if we walk around chest over the center of the pelvis, then it's going to target the inner thigh a little bit more, all the way down the longer adductor, which attaches just underneath the knee. So this is there's only one out of the four that attaches there. So we need to make sure that gets a nice deep stretch. You can come down a little bit lower if you wish. If you want a little bit more, place a block underneath the heel of that foot. And you might notice that the leg wants to roll in a little bit, but try not to let it come in too much. It is a natural thing to happen in this position, so don't worry too much if that is happening. We just want to make sure that we're not rolling all the way in. Nice long deep breaths. Try and relax around your hips, the other leg. Gently rise. Come back to the center. Take the soles of the feet together again. This time, if you want a little bit extra, place a block or something like similar underneath the feet to raise the ankles. Make sure you're evenly placed on the floor. Again, press the weight of your upper body down into the inside of the legs. Draw the belly in and back. And then again, push the legs up into the arms as if you're trying to bring the legs together in the center. Notice how different it feels when your feet are raised. It just deepens the angle a little bit more so we can get a little bit more space. Relax the contraction. Have a little shake side to side if you need to. Then, let me take this leg out this time. Fold directly forwards in front of you. If you find already that your bum starts to really lift up off the floor, you're welcome to sit on something or bend the knee here a little bit. So you can always support that underneath here as you fold forwards, and it's not going to take anything away from that inner thigh stretch. But if you want a little bit extra, place the heel of the foot onto the block. Notice then if it's pulling you more into one direction, try and keep shoulders level with the hips. Breathing all the way down into the belly. And as you breathe out, try and let go of some of the effort. Allow all the muscles to ease and soften. Gently rise, come back into the center, bring the soles of your feet together again, and again also this time if you wish to, place the feet onto the block. Again, you don't have to, you can have the feet onto the floor. Make sure the ankles are solid and safe. Lean the weight forwards, roll the hip bones back. So it's almost like you're trying to bring your coccyx to the floor. So your coccyx is at the very bottom of your spine. And it attaches, feeds into the pelvis. So if you're trying to push the back of or the top of your pelvis back, push the legs up into the arms, create that isometric contraction in the inner thighs that helps tight and spasming muscles to find some ease. Don't forget to breathe. Especially any time that we're doing anything isometrically, the breath needs to flow naturally and constantly to stop too much pressure building up inside the body. Gently release the contraction, allow the legs to shake, and then either keeping the feet on the blocks or taking them off, your choice. Lift your hips up, slide them right in, pull the knees down towards the floor, just squeeze the shoulder blades here. We're squeezing the whole of the torso, the front, the back and the side, pulling them all in and up to lengthen the torso at the same time. A little rock. Amazing. And we're going to spin the feet round. Feel free to pad underneath your knees if you wish. I'm going to come into frog. So here, knees as wide as they will go with your hips level with the knees. And then you spin the feet out so the ankles line up behind the knees and the feet are flexed. So the inner edge of the foot is pressing onto the floor. And that's the same on both sides. And then when you're there, you can just guide the hips back a tiny little bit. Doesn't that feel nice? So this is often a pose that people generally dislike, because it can be a little bit intense, but that's often an indication that that is something that you need. Using the exhalation to let go of some effort, let go of some control, and just enjoy the feeling of being open. Now, if this is too intense, you can bring your feet together, sit the hips back a little bit more into a wide child's pose as an alternative option. Although, let's give that a try. If you're in frog, slide your feet together, rock your hips back, and just notice how that changes the sensation a little bit. And then rock the hips forward, slide the ankles back, and then push the hips back a touch again. Just keep the belly engaged so we're not arching the spine. And then let's do that again, feet together, slide the hips back, almost tucking the tailbone under as you go back. Yeah. Feeling the inner thighs actively roll in this time, and then come forward, slide the ankles out. Gently flossing the inner thighs by finding this continuous movement, just a gentle rocking forwards and back. So when we do this controlled, it helps us to find ease. It's when we do this uncontrolled and just ram ourselves into a position without care and consideration that it can cause problems. So just a gentle rocking. Yeah. Then come up onto the hands. Bring the feet together, rock the hips back, bring the knees together, have a little shake out. And I'm just going to slide one leg out to the side. Sit the hips back. So again, we're getting that deep stretch through the inner thigh. It's just a slightly different angle than when we were sat before. Then come up, squeeze the bums and push the hips forwards. Take the opposite hand over to side bend. Come back, bring the hips back, reach the arms forwards. Walk the hands over towards the foot. And then walk the hands back. Come up. Find that side bend again. Awesome. And as you draw the hips back, reach the arms forward, pull the belly in, slide over towards the feet. It doesn't have to go all the way there, it's just towards that direction. Come up. Take the side bend over towards the toes. Now this is the last time we're going to be here. Reach forwards. Slide it over. Notice how you already get a little bit further each time. And then as we come back to the centre, we're just going to swap the legs round. Coming up first, side bending over towards that foot. Just making sure we squeeze the bum here, press the hips open and forwards. Here as we side bend, try not to round the chest forwards. Imagine you're stuck between two panes of glass. Come back, hips back. You may need to adjust your position if it doesn't quite feel right. Reach the arms forward. Slide it over into the diagonal. Yeah, come back up. Side bend over, so this is number 2. Keep lifting the front of the pubic bone up, touch here, good. All right, hips back, reach the arms forwards. Again, you just go to wherever your body allows. For the moment, it doesn't have to go exactly where I am. Just go by sensation, walk over. So you can go a little bit closer to the toes. Also for that length down the side body. Good, back to the front, we've got one more. Come up onto the knee and the shin, press down through the shin of the bent leg. Press down through the foot of the long leg. Yeah, hips back, reach forwards. Slide over into the diagonal. Then come back up, draw the leg in, and then roll over onto your back. Take your legs up towards the ceiling. Find a happy baby pose to start with. So here the back is long. You're pulling the knees either side of the rib cage. If you find that you can't do this with like your bum lifting off, then it's because your lower back is tight. You can place a block underneath the hips, and that just helps you to get a really nice feeling in the same way, just without the stress on your lower back. Lift the legs up to the ceiling and open them wide. So flex the feet and then point the toes. Just do this a few times. This helps to loosen off the fascia and the nerve root, and then circle the feet 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other direction. You can support your legs with the hands underneath if you wish, or on top and just glide them down more. And then we're just going to squeeze the legs up together. So here, pull the inner thighs together, pull the inner edge of the feet together, and then roll them out as you come back down. Roll them in as you come back up, roll them out as you go back down. So we're going to do 5. We leave that was 3. This is number 4. Number 5. Now this time, reach to wherever you can reach. It doesn't have to be the feet. I've just got short legs. Makes it a little bit easier for me to get to my feet. And so even if you don't reach your feet, try and direct your toes down towards the floor and the heel up. So that means you're opening from the groin, from the pelvis. I'm just going to spend last moment here, last few breaths here. And you can just imagine that your legs are growing longer and wider. You can always guide them out a little bit with your hands if you wish. And then to finish, we've got a block there. If you've got something close by, like a block, a cushion, maybe a little squidgy ball or something like that, you're just going to place it. You can place it in between your legs, but when your legs get a little bit closer up, but slowly you're going to just squeeze the legs up towards the centre. Take your time here. When you get to the top, you're just going to squeeze your block as tightly as you can, preferably from the very top part of the muscle, so the closest point towards your pelvis. Just squeeze it, feel that activation throughout. And we're just going to move the block up a little bit, so it's more just on the inner edge of the knees, and then you're going to activate more just this bit here, so just before it gets to your knee, that's where you're going to squeeze the block again. It might be easier to activate on one side than the other. And then gently lower the leg down, come back up, squeeze the block. If you've got a long way, see if you can get it, and you've got short legs, see if you can get it for the whole length of the inner thigh. Back down, come up and squeeze. 2 more. Yay, and bend the knees, remove the block. If you've got a block underneath your hips, gently remove that. Have a little shake around. You may feel a little shaking motion on the inside of the legs. But just find a moment just to let it ease. Take the feet to wide, let the knees roll in together. And then just take a moment to close your eyes and just feel the sensations throughout the inner thighs and the rest of the body. You can stay there for as long as you wish. And whenever you're ready to come back up, just slowly draw the knees in towards your chest. Rock up. Yay. Well done. And that was just under 20 minutes of inner thigh lengthening and a little bit of strengthening. Have a lovely day.